Have you ever wondered how often you're lied to each day? It's a question that might make you pause and look at the world a little differently. Lies are woven into the fabric of our daily lives, sometimes so seamlessly that we barely notice them. Studies say it could be anywhere from 10 to 200 times. That's a staggering range, and it shows just how slippery the truth can be in our everyday interactions. From harmless white lies told to spare someone's feelings, to world-changing deceptions that shape history, our quest to spot liars has led to some truly strange and creative methods over the centuries. Early lie detection relied on reading the body, sweaty palms, racing hearts, even torture devices designed to force out confessions. People believed the body would always betray the mind. Then came the polygraph, a machine that measures stress responses, not actual truth. It promised a scientific solution, but the reality was more complicated. But anxiety isn't the same as dishonesty. Many people get nervous just being questioned, regardless of whether they're telling the truth. Even the calmest liar can fool these machines, while honest people might fail just from nerves or fear of being misunderstood. That's why polygraph results rarely hold up in court. The search for a reliable lie detector continues, as the stakes can be incredibly high. Maybe we've been looking in the wrong place all along. What if the answers aren't in the body at all? Instead of focusing on the body, what if the real clues are hidden in the words people use, in the very language of their stories? Communication science suggests the language of a lie is fundamentally different from the language of truth. By analyzing how people speak, we might finally get closer to uncovering the real story behind every statement. The secret to spotting lies may lie in our brain's limitations. Our conscious mind controls only a tiny fraction of what we do. The rest is subconscious. Telling the truth is easy, just recall. Lying, though, means inventing details and keeping the story straight. This mental juggling act leaks into our language in ways we don't notice. Linguistic text analysis examines word choice and sentence structure for patterns of deception. Unlike body language, these linguistic tells are hard to fake because they come from the subconscious. By analyzing how people speak, not just what they say, we can spot lies more reliably. One of the strongest signs of deception is a lack of self-reference. When people are being deceptive, they often unconsciously try to separate themselves from their own words, as if putting distance between themselves and the lie. Liars often avoid first-person pronouns like I or my, subconsciously distancing themselves from their story. Instead, they might use more general language or refer to others to avoid taking personal responsibility for what they're saying. For example, a truthful person might say, "I didn't have a party," making it clear they are personally involved and accountable. While a liar might say, "There was no party here." Notice how the speaker removes themselves from the statement, making it less direct and more vague. This subtle shift removes the speaker from the statement. It's a way to avoid the discomfort of lying by not fully owning the words. Lance Armstrong's denials were full of distancing language, using you and a guy instead of I. This is a classic example of how high-profile figures try to deflect blame and avoid direct admission. But when he finally confessed, his use of I soared. "I lost myself in all of that." Suddenly, he was taking ownership, and his language reflected that shift. The shift from distancing to ownership is a classic sign of moving from lie to truth. When people start using I statements, it often means they're finally being honest. When people tell the truth, they take responsibility. They're willing to stand behind their words and actions, even if it's uncomfortable. When they lie, they step back. Their body language and their words both show a desire to avoid being pinned down. Watch for pronoun use. It's a powerful window into honesty. Analyzing how someone refers to themselves can reveal more than the words themselves. The more someone owns their words, the more likely they're telling the truth. Confident, direct language is a strong indicator of honesty. Distancing language is a red flag for deception. Next time you're listening closely, pay attention to pronouns. They might reveal more than you think. Liars also reveal themselves through their use of negative language, as well as the way they balance simplicity and complexity in their stories. These patterns are subtle, but once you know what to look for, they become surprisingly clear. People who are lying often use more negative words like stupid, hate, or never, which can reflect underlying feelings of guilt, anxiety, or discomfort about what they're saying. This negativity can seep into their tone, their choice of words, and even their body language. When it comes to the structure of their stories, liars tend to keep things simple at the core. That's because inventing a believable web of details is mentally exhausting, and the risk of getting caught in a contradiction increases with every extra detail. Bill Clinton's famous line, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman," is a classic example of an overly simple denial, short, direct, and lacking in detail. Yet, to make their stories sound more believable, liars often wrap these simple statements in complex, convoluted sentences. They might use lots of qualifiers, unnecessary explanations, or complicated phrasing to distract from the basic truth. Richard Nixon's Watergate denial, for example, was long and complicated, filled with elaborate justifications, but at its heart, the message was still very simple. This mix, a simple plot hidden beneath a complex delivery, is a major red flag when you're trying to spot deception. In contrast, truthful people recall rich, specific details easily and naturally. Liars, on the other hand, tend to keep things vague, padding their stories with unnecessary words or evasive language to avoid getting caught. The more you notice negative, overly simple, and needlessly convoluted language in someone's story, the more likely it is that you're hearing a lie. So listen carefully for these patterns. They're the fingerprints of deception, and they can reveal the truth hiding in plain sight. Now you know the four big tells: distancing language, negativity, simplicity, and complexity. Most daily lies are harmless, polite fibs that smooth social life, but in high-stakes moments, business deals, legal cases, political statements, these tools matter. Don't overanalyze every conversation, but watch for clusters of these signs when the truth counts. No single clue proves a lie, but when several appear together, be alert. The truth is usually simple, direct, and personal. Lies are distant, negative, and unnecessarily complicated. By listening closely, you can protect yourself and make smarter decisions. The secret language of lies is there, if you know how to hear it. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel.